Sam was a successful businessman who had everything he wanted: money, fame, power, and respect. He lived in a luxurious mansion in the suburbs, drove a fancy sports car, and wore expensive suits. He had a beautiful wife named Lisa, 2 smart kids named Jake and Emma, and a loyal golden retriever named Max. He traveled the world, met celebrities, and enjoyed the finest things in life. But Sam was not happy. He felt empty and restless. He was always stressed and anxious. He worked long hours at his office, managing his company and making deals. He had no time for himself or his family. He rarely saw his wife, who was busy with her own career and social life. He barely knew his kids, who were always at school or with their friends. He neglected his dog, who spent most of his time alone in the backyard. He was constantly chasing more money, more fame, more power, and more respect. He was never satisfied with what he had. He always wanted more. He wanted to expand his business, to buy a bigger house, to drive a faster car, to wear nicer clothes. He wanted to impress his peers, to win awards, to make headlines, to be admired. He thought that happiness was something that could be bought or earned. He thought that happiness was something that depended on external factors. He thought that happiness was something that he could find someday in the future, when he achieved all his goals and fulfilled all his desires. He was wrong. One day, Sam had a heart attack. He collapsed on the floor of his office and was rushed to the hospital. He survived, but he had to stay in bed for several weeks. He could not work or travel or do anything he used to do. He had to face his own mortality and his own emptiness. He realized that he had wasted his life on things that did not matter. He realized that he had neglected his health, his family, and his soul. He realized that he had missed the point of life. He decided to change. He decided to simplify his life and focus on what was important. He decided to sell his mansion and move to a smaller house in the countryside. He decided to quit his job and start a new career as a teacher. He decided to spend more time with his wife, his kids, and his dog. He decided to pursue his hobbies and passions, such as painting and gardening. He decided to help others and make a difference in the world, such as volunteering at a local charity. He decided to be happy. He discovered that happiness was not something that could be bought or earned. He discovered that happiness was not something that depended on external factors. He discovered that happiness was not something that he could find someday in the future. He discovered that happiness was something that came from within. He discovered that happiness was something that he could choose every day. He discovered that happiness was something that he could create in the present. He discovered the secret to a happy life. He learned to appreciate what he had instead of longing for what he didn't have. He learned to enjoy the simple pleasures of life, such as watching the sunrise or listening to the birds. He learned to express his gratitude for the people who loved him and supported him, such as his wife, his kids, and his dog. He learned to live in the moment, instead of worrying about the past or the future. He learned to embrace change instead of resisting it. He learned to accept himself instead of comparing himself to others. He learned to love himself and others and life